Hey yo, DJ Fermi here, back once again with another stream, another garbage stream, literal trash. I'm not even joking. Let me pause these streams. There you go. I am multi-streaming to YouTube, Twitch, and DLive under DJ Fermi, all three accounts. If you want to find me, you want to join me on any one of those platforms, you can. Subscribe to all of them. You'll get alerts from DLive, actually. Probably even Twitch. Twitch probably is a better mobile app. But yeah, check me out on all three, please. I just saw this on my YouTube. It was recommended. Blocked Drain 179. What? Oh God, hope this doesn't get gross. What are you watching, DJ Fermi? I don't know, okay? I'm gonna find out though. Am I loud enough? What are you guys even doing? Obviously they're trying to unblock trying to fix the drain, obviously. Oh, shit. Are they shooting water? I guess they're trying to blow water at it. Ah, that is nasty. I don't know what it is, I don't like it. Oh God. Are they done? There's this stupid stairway out here. Please start going down. This is 11 minutes long. Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, wash away that crap. I don't want to. It's not crap though. It's like it's bits of corn or vegetables. Ugh. Don't get the camera up in it. What are you doing? Oh my God. Oh, getting back at it. What the heck? It's going up and down. Whoa, this went down. What the hell? What magic are these guys, wizardry are these guys doing? Alright, I see what we're doing now. What am I supposed to kill now? Wildkin moose. That's some good bass sound effect right there. There's something flowing there. Alright then. Kill Wildkin. What are you doing? Look at your arm out of there. Oh. You got a plant?
Nothing.
Beautiful specimens. Look at this. Look at that.
Look at it. There's a beautiful specimen.
We might have to hit it with the,
Ooh, a green drop. "30-second cooldown? What? Why?" Whoa. That's intense.
this is how you get rid of the steam. You just blow in there.
You just blow in there.
Just go through this one quickly. See if there's anything left in there.
I want to talk to the chicken. I just want to talk to him. Fuck. Fuck. You're a dickhole.
That's pretty good. Thanks, Doc. Give it a hose down quickly. Hey? Give it a hose down quickly. Oh, yeah. Good idea.
Fuck. How many more of these little douchebag bears do I gotta kill? These little, what do they call them? Jackalopes. How many of these jackalopes do I gotta kill? You guys done with this drain yet? Here's another one. This one took 26 minutes to undo.
Check to see if it's 50 minutes.
As a homeowner now, I have to learn how to unblock a drain.
Check to see if it's 50 mil. It's 50 mil around there, so we've got to use a little bit hose to get it around that.
I don't speak Australian.
You see, it's only very small. That's what we tell all the girls to take out an iron.
I'm gonna kill that mage. Let's get ready to rumble. I'm targeting you, Fate boy. Let's go. Aw. My dad's gonna get him! My dad's gonna get him! Oh, ah. Oh my god! My dots got him! They got him, boys! He thought he would get away, but he didn't! So, this guy has 1,400 health. 1,500 health. Ooh, boy.
I don't like some of them because I just think that they, I don't know. Like, I guess I wish that people would just communicate with words more. It makes me feel like an old man whenever I say it, though.
True, that's an old true.
Yeah,
That's an old man.
I do.
Do you use any Twitch terms like in your real life, like around the house?
Nope.
Really? Wow, that's
Nope,
amazing.
at all.
Yeah, I don't even laugh anymore. I just say "Lil W."
I call my wife
Great
a
face.
forehead a lot. Like if she's like if we're disagreeing on something and I think I'm right, I go, "You're being a real forehead."
Well, that's good. At least you didn't say it's a 3-head. Could be worse.
Yeah, right. Or a 5-head. True.
Yeah. Wait.
Did you
Is
guys
somebody
see that
level?
whole Reddit thread about the kid and his dad with Twitch speak? You heard
Wait.
about that, right?
Oh, the dad was getting mad.
No, what is that?
He banned Twitch from his house. Hang on.
Wait,
I almost
why?
Okay,
I couldn't believe it was real.
I don't know if it's real. If it is, I'm blown away. Here, let me just read it. Hang on.
Okay.
What?
All right, quick story time. I'll read. I tweeted
for
the
it.
whole thing because I thought it was hilarious. All right, ready? I gotta find my tweet.
We'll go over here. Avoid these here. All right. I thought that was a
Okay, you
copy
ready for
pasta. I'll ask.
It's about 2 to 3 minutes. Probably 2. I read kind of slow. Maybe a minute. All right, ready?
Yeah, go
Am
for
I
it.
the asshole for blacklisting Twitch because my son won't stop using Twitch Speak? My son, 14, watches a lot of video game streamers on
He
Twitch.tv.
named his son 14.
Yeah, like parentheses 14. That's
Okay.
right. Yeah, right. The kid's 14. I personally don't find them entertaining, but I can understand why some people, like my son, do. Over the past month, he started using terms like pog, jabated, he wrote jab-aided, and kappa, which I guess are terms that are used in the scope of Twitch. I don't have an issue with my son using these terms, but it's gotten to the point where every sentence is Twitch speak. We were having dinner, and my daughter, at age 12, was talking about how she got accepted for a summer program with the local animal shelter, and my son said, "Pog you, easy clap." I told him that I
my
told
God.
him that it was getting out of hand and that he would have to communicate normally to his parents and family. Now this is
Oh my god.
that I I
my
told
God.
him that it was getting out of hand and that, and my son said, "Hog you, easy clap." I told him that. I
Oh my
told
God.
him that it was getting out of hand and that he would have to communicate normally to his parents and family. Now, this is my favorite part. The kid says, "Weird champ, feels weird man, normies, Omega."
Wow.
And then the dad goes, "Until he learns to communicate like a normal human, I've blacklisted Twitch from the internet for the time being. Am I the asshole?"
Oh, dude. Hey,
People
I
really
wish-
out here ruining lives.
I don't know if it's real. Like, I read it and I'm like, that's too good. Like, there's no way.
I wish we had the kid's Twitch account because I guarantee if I went and opened up his follows, he'd be following this
This guy should get the Father of the Year award.
Sounds like a dank little kid, man.
I'm like, I read it and I'm like, that's gotta be fake. But
I'm
if that's
so,
real, that's for every sentence is Twitch speak. My son, 14.
I'll ask.
It's about 2 to 3 minutes. Probably 2. I read kind of slow. Maybe a minute. All right, ready?
Yeah, go
Am
for
I
it.
the asshole for blacklisting Twitch because my son won't stop using Twitch speak? My son, 14, watches a lot of video game streamers on Twitch.tv.
Named his son 14.
Yeah, like parentheses 14. That's
Okay.
right. The kid's 14. I personally don't find them entertaining, but I can understand why some people, like my son, do. Over the past month, he started using terms like pog, jab-aided, and kappa, which I guess are terms that are used in the scope of Twitch. I don't have an issue with my son using these terms, but it's gotten to the point where every sentence is Twitch speak. We were having dinner, and my daughter,
Shit.
age 12, was talking about
Shit.
how she got accepted for a summer program with the local animal shelter, and my son said, "Hog you, easy clap." I told him that I
Oh my
told
God.
him that it was getting out of hand and that he would have to communicate normally to his parents and family. Now, this is my favorite part. The kid says, "Weird champ, feels weird man, normies, Omega."
Wow.
And then the dad goes, "Until he learns to Omega." Kid says, "Weird champ, feels weird man, normies, Omega."
Weird champ. Omega. Feels bad, man. Weird champ. The emotes, man. They're speaking in emotes. What are we supposed to do? Sarah! These kids are speaking in Twitch emotes. But if they're saying stuff like poggers, feels bad man, weird champ. I don't even know what this means. I'm the old man, I guess.
Wow.
And then the dad goes, "Until he learns to communicate like a normal human, I've blacklisted Twitch from the internet for the time being. Am I the asshole?"
Oh,
Holy
dude.
shit.
Hey,
Emo's
I wish
really out here
we had-
ruining lives, dude.
I don't know if it's real. Like, I read it and I'm like, that's too good. Like, there's no
Yeah.
way.
Dude, I wish we had the kid's Twitch account because I guarantee if I went and opened up his follows, he'd be following this
This guy should get the Father of the Year award. Okay, I think I have to
I'm like, I
line
read
this
it and I'm like, that's gotta be fake. But
I'm
if that's
so
real, that's
low.
hilarious.
Yeah, it seems fake, but it's at least funny. Okay. Where's our healer? Shit, man.
I don't know. I can imagine some
Alright,
sparky
I'm
kid
used-
doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my potion. Who gives a fuck?
Dude, to your parents.
Okay, alright, I'm going down this way.
Yeah,
Lining this.
dude.
Alright, good. We're
All
good.
all
we're
I'm
good,
saying,
we're good.
look, we all, when we first started, I know Asmon did, but when we all first started playing WoW, I know we reenacted some of that shit from in-game and into real life.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
recorded
grabbed the
myself
skull
doing it.
and-
I mean, I can't even
Yeah.
deny that. I have videos of myself doing that on stream. Shit. Yeah, that's what's happened for a long time.
So I
yeah.
don't think it's too unrealistic to expect these kids nowadays
Yeah.
to go up to...
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. Like, I read it, right? I read it and I was like, I mean, that could, I could definitely see a kid who like loves Twitch and is all involved with Twitch, like doing something like that. But I'm like, dude, it's like too, like his response, like that response is too, I don't know, it seemed too staged to me. But
So good.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's definitely possible. Like, there are a lot of kids that are like that. It's actually kind of weird to see like, how much like the internet culture is like. Now kids are just, it's just normal for kids to act and like
yeah.
talk like that. Okay. move up. Here. All right, we're clearing through here, guys. We cannot fucking wipe. If we wipe on this, it's all over. We have to re-clear everything. We cannot wipe. Period.
Pog you, easy clap, dude.
Pog you, easy clap.
Christ.
That's so funny.
Okay, good. I'm in the right position. All right, we're
It's
good.
too good to be true.
Perfect.
There's no
Okay,
way.
we'll move in. Kill these guys. Pog. Yeah, dude. Pog you, easy clap. I'm not surprised, man. But, you know, I think that's just kind of the way that kind of shit goes. I think it's pretty funny.
Pog you,
but,
easy clap.
I don't know. I've never really liked. I guess like the way emotes are is like people use them in place of like talking about like other stuff, and like I don't know. I wish people would use things beyond emotes, because sometimes they just annoy me. But I think I'm also just being an old man whenever I say that. Okay, I'll wait for these guys to cast and I'll interrupt them. Oh wow, these guys, they're dying so fucking fast, man.
Slavic.
I don't know.
what
Like,
Slavic
this, dude,
means.
this damage? Like we're actually gonna clear this. Okay, let's do it, boys. Oh, look at your hair.
Enough
yeah,
of
I
this.
know, man. I know.
Don't make fun of his hair. That's really crazy how we got 14-year-olds speaking Twitch emotes. They're literally like how people say LOL in real life now. Let's say LOL. We got people saying POG. I mean, I guess it's the language is evolving. I guess we're going back to hieroglyphics. That's not a senior engineer.
Hello, my name is Omar Gonzalez. I'm a senior engineer on World of Warcraft.
Omar!
So Omar, talk about what were some of the challenges in essentially reverse engineering the current World of Warcraft 2 Classic. Did you build from the ground up? Did you take, because that code's been through 15 years of changes and add-ons, and the engines changed and the graphical engines were updated. Talk about that process.
So we did a short presentation at last BlizzCon with some of our technical approaches, and what we did is we took the modern code as it exists, as we use right now, and we took a lot of the old art assets and what we call database data, and we layered the old data on top of the new code. And that was the basic premise for how we were able to develop and deliver World of Warcraft Classic. And this is important because what this allows is on the back end and all the systems that we as developers interface, it's all the modern versions that we use to maintain and deliver this online service that everyone wants to play. But from a customer's perspective, what they see and what they interact with is classic and original and all that information that existed back then.
So from a technical standpoint, you talk about some of the challenges for your team faced when essentially you don't really see a game devolve. You know what I mean? Usually it's always on the evolving state and you never go back to an old, version like you guys are going back to 1.12.
We're very fortunate in that we also have the original version of the source code in addition to the modern source code. So in many cases, we're able to make very direct side-by-side comparisons of any single game system. And we can compare and contrast. Does the old system deliver the old functionality? If not, our goal is to really emulate and ensure that we're delivering the final result that players see. So for example, if
Right now, let me tell people about this. All 0 viewers. I literally have eaten cheese for like 2 years straight.
I know, that's why I was like, this is the not. Why is she on this show? She's got like an hour-long special about her because she eats cheese with every meal, and they're like, oh, she's addicted. And I'm like, Wisconsinites wouldn't say that. We eat cheese every 2 seconds. My mom would go through the block of cheese like every week.
Yeah,
She'd buy,
like
a block of cheddar and she'd eat it.
the only reason I don't eat more cheese is because I can't afford to do so.
It's expensive out here.
Yeah, like bring on the
But they
cheap
were
cheese.
Like, oh, she eats for breakfast. She eats crackers and cheese, and for lunch she gets a cheese sandwich at work. And then she comes home for dinner and eats slices of cheese. Oh no.
I mean, that's borderline pushing it.
I know, but I'm just like, I commented as someone from Wisconsin, this seems normal.
I was gonna say, I mean, I eat cheese fucking once a day for like a snack. I mean, well, no, I might have it for like my breakfast snack and then my lunch snack or my post-lunch snack
I'll
break.
eat stuff like egg and cheese sandwich for breakfast.
I was gonna say,
pizza for dinner.
If this
stuff like that.
is she consuming 3 times as much cheese as me? Because that'd be amazing.
I don't think so.
I don't.
Just put a slice on a cracker and eat it, and they're like, "Oh, she eats lots of cheese," and I'm like, "What?"
I want to say, in terms of cheese eating, I think I'm in the top %.
Yeah, well, we both are. We're just, that's where we come from. From, like, farming, Wisconsin, dairy farms.
Holler.
Of course we're gonna fucking eat cheese.
Holler.
I was like, yeah, this is normal. Put a bunch of cheese.
Yeah, what is she talking about? I don't know. I have a new position for my microphone. It looks like it doesn't really like it that well. There's a mage over there. Should we go get him? I bet you I could get him with 2 dots. Sarah, watch me PvP this guy. Now I'm rescuing the chicken.
My husband made her spaghetti. She fucking bit it. She was like, disgusting. And she fucking throws it down.
Oh,
I just laughed.
that's rude.
No, that's just how they talk.
Disgusting.
Yeah, she couldn't eat the red sauce. She was like, this is disgusting. This is funny though, I laughed because I was like, her husband cooked her spaghetti. She's like, disgusting.
Yeah, that's so mean. Dude, I have to
He's
escort.
like laughing at her.
I have to escort this fucking chicken halfway around the world. Yeah, I'll kill an AFK player. You don't get AFK on a PvP server. Chicken, don't make any enemies. Chicken, play nice. Yep, just walk along right through there. That's obviously a bug. I like the spirit buff. Looking for a tank with a hammer. Oh god, you guys are being too picky. You're never gonna find that. Yeah, Divine Spirit. That's a great 31-point talent. Click on the light well. I put down a light well. I put down a light well. Oh my god. Light well's such shit. Those poor priests. They have the shittiest fucking 41 point talent. Honey, you're killing it. Also. Fuck. Hey, Sarah. Hey, sexy.
If a particular spell does a certain amount of damage, what's important is that it does the same amount of damage as it did originally. The final result must be the same, but what we can do on the back end is do it in a way that's much more efficient enough for modern standards, as long as what the players perceive and what they see in game is accurate to what occurred and what we call reference to actual code and
Can you get into more detail about that, about some of the technology that, because technology is always evolving, you're always getting better. What is some of the new tech you were able to use when moving?
Damn. Whatever. Let's abandon this quest. We're out of here anyways. Where's this quest that I failed, apparently? I don't know why it's got to be stupid like that. Why does that look so weird? Why does this gotta be so stupid?
Ah, I have just the thing for you.
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't. Well, there it is. You have any chicken? Got any? No chicken. No, you can buy my graze though.
Speak?
Take a skull, take a boot, take some fish oil. What the hell's that sound? So I spent like half an hour wasting all my time just to do this one quest. So I could do this part. So I can continue this long quest chain I have. this over. Get this leveling guide up. Let's see. I'm currently in step 5. All right then. Go right here, go back, and go do something else. That's how this. That's how we're gonna go. And kill any alliance we see along the way, because I gotta get this kill to death ratio a little bit higher. I don't think I'm gonna count this. We should just go by PvP deaths.
The same amount of damage as it did originally. The final result must be the same, but what we can do on the back end is do it in a way that's much more efficient and up to modern standards, as long as what the players perceive and what they see in game is accurate to what occurred in what we call a reference server, which is the actual old code and the actual old data.
Can you get into more detail about that, about some of the technology, that because technology is always evolving, you're always getting better. What is some of the new tech you were able to use when moving back, or keep in the game as you were moving back from Warcraft Battle for Azeroth 2 Classic?
So in one example, the old code understood and organized realms as sort of a single cluster of servers. The software and the hardware they ran on assumed that one realm was entirely self-contained and didn't interact in really any meaningful way with any other realm. Our modern architecture for how we run servers
You dumb
is a
architecture.
little bit more shared and distributed. And this is an important capability because it allows us to be much more efficient about our back-end resources while still delivering to the end user what they expect to play with. So you'll still go in and you'll still log in and you'll still have a realm list as you would in Classic. You would pick your realm and your characters are still bound to those realms, and they can't invite characters from other realms because that's not something that you could do back then. But on the back end, what we call our home realm services and our world services are still separate and have an architecture that more closely mirrors Battle for Azeroth's back end.
So talk about the graphics a little bit. John talked a little bit about them. Talk about how you were able to
Talk about
them from your updated models and textures down to the original 2005 or 4 textures.
We were very fortunate enough that we recovered in some of our backups, some very, very old backups from our data archives, some of the original art assets in sort of what we call an intermediate data format. And so these were the original models and the original textures at a snapshot in 1.12. And so what we did there is we took those old art assets, we
Probably the high
got
quality, like
the modern versions, and re-imported from that data source. But the code is all
Yo, what's up? Oh.
modern. So for example, on Windows we use DirectX 11 as our general renderer, and for Mac we use Metal as our API for rendering graphics, which is a change because those are the systems that are supported on modern computers, which simply didn't exist in 2004 through 2006. That's also sort of challenging because what we've found in many cases is some of the math involved in calculating lighting values was different in the rendering engine than the original data expected. And so most of the time it actually worked out fairly well. We had close approximations, but over this last year, and as we'll continue to see through this beta, we're going to continue to iterate and find as many differences as we can to as closely emulate as we can the original look and aesthetic, both in colors and light and shadow, as what we can from the original version.
Staying on that topic, do you have any fun stories that you can share about going back into the source code and being like, why did they do it that way? Oh, that's why. That's crazy.
I've been fortunate enough that I've been working on WoW for so long. Some of that very old code was my code.
why did I do it that way? Okay, I did it that. I remember now. I remember I did it that way.
I started as a very junior programmer right out of college in 2005. That was when I first began working on.
Yeah, this guy's loaded.
And one of the very earliest systems that I worked on was with Jeff Kaplan, who was a designer at the time. And we wanted to make some updates to what we call the tapping and loot sharing systems. It was important that when you're playing in WoW, that when you're killing a creature, that the right player characters get the right loot in a way that's fair and expected, but also can't be exploited. And there's oftentimes a very fine line between those two. And when we look back at that code, most of it hasn't changed up until more recent incarnations of World of Warcraft, where we've sort of driven loot and rewards based more on your personal contributions. So what items drop off creatures are for you. We've had to go back and make sure, no, we had to respect the old group implementation. So, for example, we need to make sure that if you are killing a creature and another player of a similar level comes and helps you kill that creature, even though they weren't in your party, they don't minimize the amount of XP you gain. However, we also have to balance that against, well, we also don't want very high-level creatures trivializing this and making sure that they, that when you do get credit, you're not getting an undue amount of credit given that you did very little work. So in many cases, I had to look as a reference my old code that I wrote originally and re-implement the style and functionality, but now that I've been doing it for much more longer, do it in a little bit more of a cleaner and more robust way.
What's it been like, because you said you've been working on the game since the original source code, what was like the turning point with technology really, encoding and server technology, was the turning point for you being like, wow, this is really cool, we couldn't do this, before, but now we can do all this cool stuff? If there was one. I know code is, code's always code, so
yeah.
I mean...
I can't really identify sort of a single turning point. WoW's code base is very old and continues to
probably Burning Crusade.
Adapt to changing needs and the evolution of the game itself. It's interesting because some portions of the code are, for lack of a better word, never needed to change. So they continue to run as they have for decades because they've continued to meet the needs, while other systems we've kind of stripped down and rebuilt when we feel they're not meeting the needs of the game. Ultimately, what matters is the experience we're delivering to the customers, and everything we do on the engineering side, we're always doing in service to that.
Right, because Classic is 100% community driven. That's what they wanted, and this is what they're getting.
Yeah, as an engineer myself, I oftentimes find myself wondering, wow, I wish I could do this in a way that that respects all of my good software engineering principles that I've learned over the years, but ultimately what matters is not necessarily the cleanliness of the software architecture. That's still critical and important, but what really matters is, are we delivering a fun experience to the game? So we're oftentimes playing this balancing act of, on the engineering teams, we need to preserve this code base because we need to keep it running cleanly and robustly for the long haul, but we can't allow, we can't
That's actually a bad thing.
This beta key means so much.
Yeah. If it's actually bad, you can't joke about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Slowpoke donated $3. Will Live Classic release fee pre- and post-Reckoning Bomb hotfix for patrons.
Pog easy clap.
Post-Reckoning Bomb hotfix. Yeah, it's gonna be 1.12. Yeah. 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 You get pumped up, you get beta key, thanks, that's fantastic. Hi, I'm new. What's up, Wang Chief?
Thanks, thank you so much for the beta key. It's been great relaxing in Jamaica and playing my favorite game.
Nice. Jamaica. Where is Jamaica?
Billy lives $3. Hey, how you doing?
Is that the
little
Cool
mama?
Runnings place?
Let me whisper in your ear.
I'm just kidding. I know where Jamaica is. It's I think it's in Sweden. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
see if it's soft. No, I'm just playing. Can I get a beta key?
What? Thanks, Philly Leaves. All right, there you go. Yeet. Omerta, congrats on the hat. Yeah. Yeah, it's in Germany? Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad. I thought it was, dude. I thought it was. True Swede, guys. Speaking of Swede, I will be going to Sweden. I will be. For DreamHack Summer. For Summer DreamHack, I will be going to Sweden. How does that sound? That pretty exciting? Everybody say Pog. Everybody Pog? Yes, Pog. I mean you. I'm going to get to meet S-Man at DreamHack Summer. That's going to be pretty exciting, actually. Yeah.
Not the Wheel donated $3. This fan. I didn't have anything to say. I just like the donation voice. Your hair is luxurious to woo. Not the Wheel donated $3. This fan. I didn't have anything to say. I just like the donation voice. Your hair is luxurious to woo.
Thanks. Thanks, Not the Wheel.
Your hair is luxurious. Ooh woo.
Tart donated $3. So I just went into some random girl streamer and donated $3.
Get the skip button
She
ready?
didn't show any appreciation or nothing. I regret donating to that. Don't want to say the word. But you guys, if you ever donate, best is to donate it for his fan. He is humble and kind.
All right, dude. Your TTS is too long, man. Just please, please, Tarek. Look, you're overstaying your TTS welcome. I'm just kidding. Thanks for the $3, dude. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
DreamHack next week for a beta key. Please, Manscape, as I do not want to pick any hair out of my teeth.
Yeah.
I need to get a
What do you
TTS.
you think this is a train wreck stream? What are you talking about, Insecure? Yeah. Thank you, Jairus. Look. Wait, slob on that knob? Wait, what the hell? No, relax, Jairus. Relax. Relax, dude. Relax. Was that Her Majesty? What the heck? Come on.
Thanks for the
Unbelievable. Benny with a B. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. No Skill Scrub, $3. Thank you, dude.
Let's fucking go.
I smile. Thank you. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Streamer hate culture, most Soviet thing I've ever heard. Yeah. Look. Streamers are good people. Everybody smile. Smile for streamers are good people. Okay, so guys, here's a few things I need to do. Okay, and Asmon has like done a terrible job of this so far. So I'm trying to pick up the slack.
You obviously just want people to donate more.
True.
Oh god.
It is working. Thank you for that, man.
Oh my god.
$3 FN. Appreciate that. Entire Soviet Union. The entire Soviet.
It's a level 60.
Wow. Wow, they subbed. I thought this was on stream now. Nesmine, killing it with Classic. Hey, nothing changed except for the game. Nothing changed except for the game, dude.
Hell.
Let's see. We need to go mine some things. You know what kind of sucks? Like, I wish I could show off Paladin a little bit better. At level 30, at level 40, like, even if they buff it to level 40, it'll get a little bit better, but it won't be that great. I wish,
Johnny Big Nose with a $6 donation. Thoughts on Tfue suing FaZe Clan? What? Let me look at it. Let me look into it. Tfue sues FaZe Clan over oppressive contract. What? Whoa, let's take a look. This is hot news, man. This is why we're here on Twitch.tv to check out the hottest news. Let's take a look. Esports Pro, #1 Fortnite gamer. And trust me, when I say #1, he's #1. But I might have some information on someone that's up and coming, but I'm not going to get into that. I do not want to get into that yet. But, ladies and gentlemen, Turner Tene. I didn't know that was his last name.
Suing.
Turner Tene.
Suing.
Turner Tenade, 21 years old. Tornado. Turner the Tornado Tene. Man, I've got to. If he leaves FaZe Clan, I'm picking him up. And it's like he's already on board. Like I don't even have to talk to him or anything like that. I'm picking him up. He's joining me, right? He's not going to go into it. He doesn't need an organization anymore. He's joining me, right? Him and I are going to take over the entire world until we get to the top, and then I take back over the top, right? I'm just going to use him. You know, like we'll go to the top and just go turn it and the Talent Agency Act. Whoa, let's take a look. Tornado. That's stupid. I'll work on the branding. I'm already trying to think new branding and stuff. Says FaZe Clan is violating the California law and the Talent Agency Act. Whoa, let's take a look. One of the world's top professional esports players is suing his gaming organization for allegedly restraining his business opportunities and taking up to 80%. Holy shit.
80%?
And I thought my previous agency was... Holy shit.
80%?
And I thought my previous agency was jacking... Holy shit. 80%?
Holy
Tifu.
shit.
We can't let that happen, man. In a complaint that argues esports players' representatives should be regulated like agents of film and TV stars. Hey, Tifu, give me a call. We'll talk about all the details, and we'll get you right where you need to be. Trust me. If you want to talk to me about it, let's talk about it, okay? A 21-year-old professional gamer known as Tifu on Monday sued FaZe Clan for allegedly limiting his ability to pursue his profession in violation of California law, passing on a lucrative brand deal because of a conflict of interest and failing to pay his share of sponsorship earnings. You can't fail to pay. In no uncertain terms, these gamers are artists, entertainers, and content creators that perform the act in direction of writer's attorney Brian Freeman of Freeman plus Tailman in the complaint. There's a lot of money up for grabs.
Oh, hi.
So he's missing out on these opportunities because FaZe Clan's unlawful. Signed in April 2018.
I didn't know I had chat going.
20% of the revenue from
I was doing
videos that
PvP.
are published on Twitch. Man, I don't know.
Oh, what is this? Get out of here, Rodrigo. No.
That's just not
Banned.
beating Bush, man. That
Undead
is
Priest
terrible.
is best priest.
He only gets 20% of the revenue from any... I mean, if that's true, that's bad, man. Like, I'm at the point where I get 100%, and on top of that, they pay me, like, another 50%. Like that's how good I am, right? Like when you look this good, right? And you put on a show like me... Johnny Big. Anyways, YouTube or social media, and half of his revenue from touring and appearances streams that viewed more than 120 million views, and he has more than 10 million YouTube subscribers and 5.5 million Instagram followers. A gamer agreement is grossly oppressive. Here's lawyer talk. FaZe Clan.
Oh wow, I had viewers a while ago. I'm sorry.
It sucks to hear that he's got to go through this.
My browser froze.
But
I wasn't getting your
like
chat messages.
He's taking the correct approach. Right. Looks like he's got some knowledgeable people behind him. They're gonna push. They're gonna push the point. I don't know all the details. Obviously, I don't know. You know what FaZe Clan would say about it. Has FaZe Clan have they issued a response at all or anything? What's the update, man? Like is.
We are here for Classic Cast, our very first Classic Cast of the Classic WoW beta. We are very, very excited to be here. We have Venruki here with us. Stay Safe TV, Tips Out, baby, of course. So yeah, welcome, guys. A lot of you guys know who Venruki is. Venruki is a very high-end arena player, caster as well. Venruki, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself for those of us who might not be following the retail WoW scene more recently?
Yeah, sure. So I've been playing the game since vanilla, really long time. I started getting into the competitive scene when Arena came out, was heavily into duels and 3v3s and basically all aspects of WoW, mythic rating, everything. And yeah, after years and years of competing, I think I competed from 2007 to 2015, I decided to get into showcasting. So I've been streaming for the last 6 years, as well as doing showcasting for the AWC 3v3 tournament. And yeah, just been a part of the WoW community for a really long time. Ended up winning BlizzCon in 2012, and yeah, that's basically it, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah, so like, I mean, we know like a lot of people have already seen your video. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you should go to Venruki's YouTube channel and check out his video about why he's so excited for Classic. And you originally, like, you weren't like a big Classic guy. Like, you were just kind of like, whatever, like, it's not my thing. I want to play Arena and do all that, right?
Yeah, so when Nostalrius, I don't know how to exactly say it, but when that server got shut down, a lot of people were complaining, and I got it. I was like, man, people put a lot of time, a lot of effort into playing on that server, so that getting shut down, it sucks. But for me, I wasn't that interested. I played vanilla. I felt like I had really experienced the game, and I wasn't that excited to go back, because as someone who's dedicated 10 plus years into the arena scene, the thought of going back to a version of the game where that just didn't exist wasn't that appealing to me. So while I was sympathetic to all the people that wanted to play Classic, for myself, I guess selfishly, I just would have rather them make the current game as good as possible. But yeah, kind of going back now and playing Classic, it feels like that dream of them kind of bringing back all the things that I loved about WoW way back in the day, a bit more far off than just playing Classic.
Yeah, for sure. And I know, like,
Yeah.
yes, Jason, if you want to go ahead.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, just coming back and playing for the first time in a really long time, vanilla WoW, what are the like biggest couple differences or biggest things you notice? Like, wow, this is totally different.
So I was actually I was chit-chatting with one of my friends yesterday, and it really felt like there's too many things to name. It's like every like if I'm having a conversation about it, I can just consistently name off things over and over. But I think the things that have stood out to me the most is actually feeling like there's a community, like it's a community game. That's the best thing. Like having a guild, having friends to play with, needing to group up with people, actually needing to play with other players in the game. Not only does it better yourself, but it also feels good to help people out. It's like a mutually beneficial relationship to all these different people that you're meeting. The immersion in the zones, the satisfaction in getting a level because it is more difficult. I mean, I think we can all agree, if you guys played, I don't even know if you guys played Battle for Azeroth, but Battle for Azeroth leveling was probably the least fun experience ever. It just, as you leveled in Battle for Azeroth, your character got weaker. It added hidden scaling, so even though you're higher level than someone, your character was just worse than them, and it just wasn't that fun. Whereas this, once you get past level 10, every single little talent point you put in is actually impactful and meaningful, and playing it is a lot different than thinking about it in the past, because in the past I was like, well, I really did like those talent trees, but maybe they weren't the most impactful decisions. But that's wrong. Like you really feel it when you put a point in Improved Blizzard, and it completely changes your rotation and your ability to now AoE grind. Yeah, like, so I think even though it's just like a talent point here, a talent point there, like the amount you can customize your character, it just feels super good.
Yeah, that's totally true. Retail WoW leveling is also, compared to vanilla WoW or classic WoW, retail WoW leveling feels very linear, right? You sort of have to go on this set path. You don't have many options or ways you can level differently. In vanilla WoW, classic WoW, you really have, like, it's an adventure. Like, there's nothing telling you where to go. You just have to figure it out.
That's one of the things I love as well. Opening up a quest log, having to read the quest, like adventure around on the map. I feel like, so I played a couple, this is going to sound silly, but I played a couple of mobile games on my stream, RPG mobile games, and in a lot of those mobile games, they have basically like an autopilot mode where you just like put it on autopilot and your character will just run around and play the game for you. And I think BFA leveling is as close to autopilot mode as you could get without actually having it on. Because like you said, you pick up a quest, it tells you exactly where to go. Everything is super shiny, easy to pick up, whereas in Classic WoW, you get a quest, it actually feels like a quest. You have to read where you have to go. The mobs that you're fighting are actually dangerous and can kill you. You accidentally pull 2 monsters, all of a sudden you need a pot, you need to use everything. If you didn't have full HP or full mana, it's a nightmare, and it just feels a lot more rewarding to complete things.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, dude. I mean,
Like-
with retail WoW leveling, like it's so trivial. If you're a new player to WoW, you've never played BFA, you've never played WoW before, you go to the store, you buy BFA, they give you a free 110. Like that's how trivial the 1 to 110 experience is.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter for your game.
And like 20 years ago, if you put quest markers on a map in a game, or they told you exactly where to go from point A to point B, or exactly which chest in the water temple to loot to get the key to open up the next door,
Oh
like
man.
that would be considered like a cheat or something like that, or like, you know what I mean? Like
It'd just be boring.
it wouldn't, yeah, it'd be boring. It's like you'd go to cheatplanet.com specifically to get some kind of code to freaking put in on your N64 controller so you get stuff like that. Nowadays, it's like streamlined into every single game, and it definitely hurts. Yeah, it definitely hurts the experience.
Yeah, I think one of the things that, and you hit on this, is it's what I always talk about this, is how classic WoW, you just have this constant feeling of progression. It's like a series of small wins, right? So like you were saying, like you level and your decisions matter, and it matters like where you put your talent points and stuff. Like I think it's really cool that you as somebody who, like, you know, we weren't really looking forward to this, you weren't really even thinking about it, like you recognize that like immediately. And I think that goes to show, like, for a lot of people who maybe are like more retail players and like, okay, like what's this classic thing all about? Let's check this out. Like, do you think like that? I mean, you were obviously more in the high end arena scene. Do you think that your other guys who are like more high end arena players are kind of noticing the same thing? Do you think the average player is going to notice the same thing? What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've had a lot of the people, you know, there's a lot of streamers that are my friends, like Snut, Sony Digital, CDU, you know, very high-end arena players, BlizzCon champions. You know, they have been basically playing Classic nonstop since they got the beta. They haven't really touched Live that much. And I think, like we were talking before the show started, and one of the things I said I was most excited about is for everyone to like be able to log on and experience what I'm experiencing right now, because these last like 5 or 6 days, I think 5 days, have been like the most fun I've had streaming in years. Like every single day, I'm excited to log on and play the game, and I know like the tasks that I want to do. If I want to level, if I want to farm like a very specific piece of gear, like I can get that done, and I'm really excited about it. As far as I don't know if that actually answered your question.
No. I think so. Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
you do totally. Like, I mean, I think that. I think that these guys, I think it's important because if you look at a lot of the big streams in the WoW section, not all of them, but a lot of them are like big arena streams, right? That's what people want to watch. That people want to watch like competitive gameplay and stuff like that. And I think that you have these guys who they're playing a game with, you know, there's no rating system, right? There's no rate. Well, at least there's a ranking system eventually with the honor system, but everybody knows it's not that great. But it doesn't matter. Like now, it's a lot more like. You can't necessarily point at the scoreboard and say, well, yeah, look at my rating, right? Like, check my rating. But I think not being able to do that actually opens the door and opens the discussion a lot more for like, okay, who's the best at this? Who's the best at that? And it makes it more exciting, I think, in terms of, you know, people like trying to like, oh, like, you know, Ben Ruki's my favorite or Zico's my favorite or whoever, right? I just think stuff like that is cool. For us, like, I know for me, I kind of stopped playing after Burning Crusade. Stay Safe, you stopped playing, or you picked up, you played all the way through Wrath, didn't you, Stay Safe?
I really stopped at the start of Season 9, so the start of Cataclysm, but I always came back and tried the beginning and the end of each expansion, and it never really, like, I stopped, like, really playing at the start of Cataclysm. That's when everything changed.
And then Tips, when did you stop? Because you played through Mop, right?
I played through, yeah, so I played every single expansion for at least like some section of it, but like Stay Safe, the beginning of Cataclysm, after those first 2 months, there was a big dungeon nerf that happened to all the heroic dungeons, and it was like kind of a big deal at the time, and like it like turned a lot of heads and stuff. When that blue post came out, I quit the second day, like right after that. So yeah, it was basically like the start of Cataclysm. They had recognized some of their mistakes in Wrath when they had made the game a little bit too easy. So they decided to, you know, tune up the content for heroics and stuff like that. But then apparently, like, a lot of people quit, or a lot of people weren't happy with that. And so they completely buckled and they went back to how they were before. And then that's when I was like, this game is no longer for me.
Yeah, I think I just think it's really interesting whenever you have this game that I mean, it's like 15 years old, and now all of us, right? We all played the game differently, right? Like I did a lot of arenas, like I did 5v5, Omega Lol, like 5v5, not super balanced, whatever. But
That's my favorite, by the way.
I loved Burning Crusade 5v5. Burning Crusade 5 was so fun.
5v5 was badass.
Yeah, it was so good. But I like to do 5v5. 3v3s were good too. I just didn't have like a consistent team, and like that's kind of like what I mostly like to do is arena back then. But then kind of coming back and seeing like so many people from different like eras of WoW playing Classic like on this beta has been so unbelievably fun, and it's just exciting to see because it's almost like watching these beta streams is almost like this crazy crossover episode. And I think that's why everybody's viewership is so high, because it's like, oh look, like, you know, S-Fan CD or S-Fan Adventure, like, I mean, just even like us running outside Scarlet Monastery a little while ago and like just getting like little skirmishes, like people like were just PogChamp, like it's so funny, like people are going nuts, like it's just stupid, like little level 30 PvP. But yeah, I think that's probably one of the things that's been best for like the viewing experience. And
PvP's
I think it's helped the
PvP.
WoW section a lot, like as a whole. Just kind of bringing everybody together, and especially for a lot of the viewers who maybe have been out of the WoW scene, right? They haven't really been watching WoW or whatever, but then they get to come back and they get to watch like a bunch of people come back. I think that's been really cool. What are your impressions of the beta so far in terms of like how you remember things as somebody who's consistently played through? Like, is there a lot you remembered from vanilla, like as far as like mechanical stuff, or is it just like you kind of forgotten a lot of things?
So I'm starting to remember. Like today I started getting a little bit more into like duels, and then yesterday I was getting a little bit more comfortable on my role as a mage, like running into a raid, and I was like, oh wow, I actually can just Nova everybody and they can't do anything about it. That's great. You know, so I'm slowly like coming back into my element. Obviously, it's a completely different game than live. You know, I have Fireball, Frostbolt, and Arcane Missiles all on my bar, whereas on live, you know, depending on the spec, you only get those abilities. So I'm like having to rethink my keybinds, like what did I do in vanilla, what were my strategies. So it's been a little bit of a learning process, but it's kind of cool to see that I'm remembering stuff from so far, from so long ago, and like my own gameplay and my own strategies and stuff. Oh, go ahead.
Do you like that more, sort of playing the class instead of a specific spec, how it is in retail?
I like it. I mean, I like it a lot more. I think that's one of the things. I mean, okay, so when you know you're running around on a mage in a dungeon, you're pressing Frostbolt most of the time, right? Like people will be like, "Man, this rotation is so boring." But I'm like, it's actually not boring. I don't know. I thought that as well. I was like, just pressing Frostbolt, people don't remember vanilla raiding. Like that's not fun. But then when you do it, and in addition to pressing Frostbolt, you have to worry about like weaving in your mana gem, and look, you can decurse. Like you're the only person in your group that can decurse in this dungeon. If you don't decurse, you're completely screwed. So you have to weave in decurses, and then okay, I do have mana. Let's dump that mana, do like really heavy AoE. Like I'm gonna Nova everything and Kona Cold them. I just did insane burst damage. Oh, my mana's low. I guess I gotta wand a little bit to recover. Okay, I guess this is a good time to Evo, or should I save my Evo for the next pull? It's like there's a lot of different things to consider. You know, stuff like buffs and decursing and mana management. Like those things, I guess, turned out to be fun because I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I think there's more.
Harder is fun.
One thing I'm starting to realize, not starting to realize, as I've realized over the years, is there's more to playing WoW as a damage dealer than just doing damage. You know, I think people got way too hung up on that. And it's actually one of the reasons why I haven't been using damage meters on my stream at all. A lot of people ask for them, but I feel like people being so damage meter obsessed, like, oh, my class has to do the most damage or it's worthless, I think actually ruined the game.
Really? Okay, yeah. I think that's interesting. Yeah, it's funny how like just putting yourself in that situation will like remind you of a lot of these little things, like, you know, whether you're running around in the canals in Stormwind like Stay Safe is doing right now, as we can see on his reflection in the background. But no, it's funny. Like it's cool that you can see all that stuff. No, look, I did all craft this week. Literally, me and Asmongold were running around grinding mobs while we were on all craft. So, so yeah, like I think like it's gotten to the point where like
it
people
speaks
love
volumes, man. The game is so fun. You just don't want to stop. I'm addicted to this game. It's so good.
It's unreal, man. It's unreal, and it's like. Like I said,
it's
this earlier,
addictive.
like, I haven't left my house. It's just the beta came out. Like I've been holed up. Yeah, I haven't left my house. It's actually pretty bad. So yeah, I gotta get on that. Maybe we'll take the night off. But yeah, no, I think something else that you were talking about is like the rotation. It seems so simple, right? And I think whenever you play vanilla WoW, you have to learn how to be creative. There's like a lot of creative freedom that you have. in playing your class that a lot of people don't consider, and it's like using stuff outside of the scope of your class, outside of your spell book even, right, with different items or things that might not seem like they're part of your rotation, but like you said, like your mana gem and stuff like that, and making sure you're doing stuff at the right pace, popping a consumable at the right time. Another thing is like optimal time for you to pop like your trinket, or if you're arcane, like arcane power, like when you use it, do you use it at the right time in a boss fight, or like whenever you have another proc go up, use your arcane power and all this stuff. I think that's one of the big things about vanilla that people don't understand is like it's not
not so
like
cookie
DPS
cutter.
rotations and stuff like that aren't always like about a perfect rotation. It has to do with timing, and there's a lot of other factors too, like you said.
Timing.
Damage meters can kind of take away from. I think damage meters are like the hype thing, and it's fun to watch. But yeah, it's not all about damage. It has more to do with like being able to provide to your raid and being able to get the job done, right? It's not always about your own numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a perfect example of this are Warlocks and Molten Core. You know, Warlock DPS and Molten Core is really, really, really bad. But you want 3 or 4 of them because they have banishes for the trash. They have Soul Stones and Hellstones and Summons, and they have the curses to debuff. You know, Curse of Wreck, Curse of Elements, Curse of, all the stuff. So they have a ton of value, even though, just if their only merit was their DPS, you wouldn't want to bring them at all.
Yeah.
But they provide so much else that justifies, having 3 or 4 of them in the raid.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, I said okay.
Yeah, I agree
I
too.
distracted the end there. There is we got some breaking news. I just want to touch on this real quick. We can go ahead and go into it actually. So a lot of you guys know that there is going to be a stress test. We were talking about this before we went live, and we were like, yeah, we haven't said anything about the stress test. So it looks like there is a blue post out on the stress test. Let me go ahead and make sure that I can get this up for you guys, so you guys can see it up on the screen, and we can go ahead and read it off together. I've not read it yet myself. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Yeah, this is good. Okay. Okay, nice. So, this is WoW Classic Stress Test 1. This is from Bornak, Community Manager. We'll be performing our first stress test for WoW Classic on Wednesday, May 22nd, from 4 to 6 p.m. PDT. During this time, the closed beta test realm will be unavailable. Those who are currently in the beta test will only be able to log into the stress test realm during this time, and beta testers can participate using their existing installation. We'll also be adding a significant number of players to the stress test from the pool of people who have already opted in for the beta but have not yet been selected. So yeah, make sure you guys do that if you haven't done that yet. Since the same client is used for both our stress test users and our normal beta users, the name in the Battle.net app has changed to Beta and Stress Test WoW Classic. If you've been selected to participate in the stress test, you'll see this option appear in the region/account drop-down menu, so you can download and install the WoW Classic client in advance, but you'll only be able to see the stress test realm when it becomes available. For the stress test, all races and classics will be available for creation, but the maximum level will be set to 5. Hey,
that's good.
25-minute speedruns. Here we go. The test will also take place on a PvP realm, but since the starting areas are sanctuaries, you don't really need to worry about attacks from the other factions if you just want to level up to 5. We expect to put lots of people in the starting zones, though, and we're looking forward to seeing what you all do as we test the servers under crowded conditions. We'll be actively monitoring the server, sending server messages, etc. during the 4 to 6 p.m. PDT period, and it's important to have as many people as possible log in during this window, so hey, make sure you guys get ready for that. The stress test realm itself will be available until Thursday, May 23rd, becoming unavailable around 6 p.m.